Grading assignments with multiple attempts. All Connecticut Community College faculty are enrolled in the resource course, Course Design and Delivery Competencies, Self-Paced. It will display in your Blackboard course list in the section labeled Courses Where You Are a Student. If you do not see the course, contact your local EdTech director. We recommend that you review the information and videos in the course about tools that are typically used with assignments, such as SafeAssign, rubrics, and the Blackboard Annotate tool. There are also videos available for students at the URL shown here on how to submit an assignment, check their grades, etc. Grading assignments with multiple attempts. Now we're going to look at two different examples of grading on assignments that have more than one attempt submitted. The first example is for an assignment whose settings permitted multiple attempts, with the highest attempt grade set as the one to count for final grade calculations. The second example is for an assignment that permitted only one attempt, but the instructor allowed a particular student an additional attempt. This is where things can get a little tricky in regard to ensuring that the correct attempt grade is used for final grade calculations. Example 1. An assignment with multiple attempts allowed, with the highest attempt grade counted in final grade calculations. When Chapter 6 through 8 was created, the settings selected specified that the students would get up to 3 attempts, and that the highest grade out of all of the attempts is the one that would be counted in Grade Center. This was demonstrated in the video on creating an assignment. So for this student, if I go into Chapter 6 through 8 and I look at the grade details, I can see that this student did in fact submit 3 attempts. The first attempt, they earned a grade of 69. The second attempt, they earned a grade of 75. The last attempt, they earned a grade of 61. Now we can see that this assignment specifies that whatever grade is used for the final grade calculations is based on the highest score. So if I go to the Grade Center and I look at this student's grade that is actually going to be counted, I see that indeed it is the highest score of 75 out of the 3 possible scores that they earned on their 3 attempts. Example 2. An assignment with a single attempt allowed, which defaults to the last attempt grade used for final grade calculations. Then the instructor allows a student an additional attempt. Now let's look at a different example. Let's say that this same student submitted an assignment for Chapters 1 through 3, which only allowed a single attempt. If I go into View Grade Details, I can see that this student earned a 75 on their first attempt. The instructor allowed them an additional attempt. Now I'm going to go in as the preview student and I'm going to submit that attempt and then come back to Grade Center. Now the student has submitted the second attempt, and when I look at the Grade Center, I see that the grade that is now being counted is a 68, lower than the original attempt grade. How did that happen? If I click on View Grade Details, the student submitted their first attempt on August 19th and earned a 75. They submitted their second attempt on August 24th and earned a 68. However, instead of the highest grade that was earned being used for final grade calculations, the lowest grade from the last attempt is the one that's being counted in Grade Center. And this is because originally this assignment only permitted a single attempt, and so by default the grade is based on the last graded attempt. There are 2 ways you can fix this problem. One way is to ignore the attempt that got the lowest grade. However, that will only fix the problem for this one student. You would still have to make sure that you checked this for every single student that you happen to give an additional attempt to. So the better way to fix this is to return to the Grade Center, click the drop-down in the column head, and select edit column information, and then change the setting for score attempts using to highest grade, and then submit. As soon as you do that, for any student who is given an additional attempt, the highest grade will prevail and be used for the final grade calculations. If you require additional assistance or have questions, contact your local college's Ed Tech director.